AD Watch, let it begin. So according to our Shams Charania, the Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner, Rich Kleinman, are sorting through trade options with interested teams mainly featuring the Rockets, gentlemen, the Spurs, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, and Miami. Meanwhile, this week, a fan on X caught Katie's attention with this post. What have you done since leaving Golden State? Brooklyn was a failure. Phoenix currently is a failure. And you're about to jump ship to the next best available team. Laugh out loud. KD replied, All-Stars, 50, 40, 90, All-NBA, efficient buckets. I also got a career-high assist one year, hit 30K points, won a couple Olympic gold medals and MVPs. What a career, and I'm still going. I love my life. Okay, Magic. Do you agree with Katie's comments and how he handled that, defending his legacy?
Well, you know, Molly, we're in a new age, so people go back at people. Now, athletes do.
If someone hit you, are you hitting back like that?
No, I don't have time to be worried about that. I'm sitting on Stephen A's show with you, and I got my double breast on. I'm getting ready to go to Europe tomorrow. I can't be worried about what everybody's talking about. Now, I do like that Kevin Durant is a piece that can actually get you over to win a championship. I like him if he could come here to New York for the Knicks. Brunson needs help, and he needs help in the fourth quarter. See, he gonna get you there, but then Indiana loaded up against him, and everybody else couldn't deliver. So they need a guy like Kevin Durant who could say, okay, Brunson, you get us there, but I'm gonna take us home. It reminds me of Shaq and Kobe. Hey, Shaq, you get me to the fourth. Kobe said, I got it. I'm going to take us home, right? And so you need a person like Kevin Durant who also can put a team into foul trouble. See, it's not just his scoring ability, but he also puts you in foul trouble. And so that was a wake-up call against the Pacers with the Knicks. They're not deep enough, and then they're too slow as a team playing the two bigs. Siakam took full advantage of both of those guys when they tried to guard him, Karl Anthony Towns. And so I believe Durant could help the Knicks if he came here. Also, he could help Miami, too.
Yes. Miami needs somebody.
I don't know if him and Anthony could play together because of the fact that who's going to close the game?
Anthony Edwards in Minnesota?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards. I see it, but I don't know if it's going to work out. But I love Miami. I love him with the Knicks. In Houston, yeah, they got some young fellas who need a guy. They would need a guy like Kevin Durant, and definitely in San Antonio because of they're so young. They need a veteran presence and to teach them how to win. And Kevin would do that.
Here's my deal. I would put Knicks, no particular order, Knicks, Miami, Houston, Detroit.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Detroit.
But does Detroit need him?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Because they couldn't close out the game. See, you don't know where they're going to go. Cunningham is still learning. But you need a guy like Kevin Durant who, here you go,
and
win
Kevin
the game
Durant would make Cunningham even better.
That's right.
All right, so he's not taken away. He's an additive. He's not a subtraction.
That's right.
Right? So I got you those four, okay? Minnesota would be 5, all right? I'm looking at it from that standpoint, and I would say this to you. When you look at Kevin Durant, he's one of the greatest players to have ever played basketball. He's a professional scorer. He is that elite. I'm not going to get into him clapping back at people on social media because here's my position. Nobody in the media should be telling him what to say because we talk. So he's a grown man. And, you know, if we got the right to talk, he got the right to talk, okay? And defend his own self.
Right.
The issue with him is that he never seems happy. That's what they say. We don't know. Kevin Durant knows the answer to that question. But I will say this. His resume is too great to only have a championship when he was with Steph and Clay and Draymond. His resume is too great. In other words, his credentials, his skill set, what he's capable of doing. He should have more than 2 titles. That's just me. And when you look at a criticism about him, it's because we're mentioning LeBron and Steph all day, every day when we talk about the greatest of this era, where his skill set and his overall credentials automatically warrants him in that conversation if he didn't have to go to OKC to get the 2 titles, and that's the only 2 titles he has on his illustrious resume. Having said all of that, even as old as he is now, the brother missed 2 years now. He got the foot injury that cost him a season years ago. Right. He had the Achilles tear that cost him a year and a half. So, again, the wear and tear on his body is not what people think.
Right.
And I would jump at the chance to have Kevin Durant, no matter who the hell I am, because I don't give a damn what system you put him in. He's that great.
If you're in New York, who are you getting rid of? And then in Miami, is there enough there?
Molly, let me just say this. It doesn't matter. Kevin and Brunson, and then you have Robinson stay at center. Wow. Because that's all you need. In today's, the Pacers and OKC is showing us, you just need some good role players to go with 2 solid stars, right? And so they would have 2 superstars. And then Robinson is holding down the middle. Oh, I like that a lot. And so this town would eat that up. I mean, now you find the right coach.
Which is pathetic on their part. We'll get to that later. Real quick question for you.
That's where we're going now.
Real quick question for you. Real quickly. Define a superstar.
A person who can go on the road and sell the building.
There we go. It's a simple definition.
Simple. I'm going to see that person, right?
So you ain't talking skill on the court. That's it. You talk about
draw.
Box office.
Yeah,
you got to be box office.
Magic's in town. You're going to the game.
Yeah, a superstar got to say, man, or you running home from the office and saying, oh, I got to see him on TV, right? And that's what Larry Bird, people running home, right? Charles Barkley, people running home. Shaq, people running home. Kobe, people running home. And then, of course, the greatest that's ever played, Michael Jordan, people going running home to see him. Or they're trying their best to get into the arena to see that brother play. That's a superstar who could go on the road and sell the building out.
What's a superstar player?
Superstar player, they got to lead you to the championship. They got to lead you to the championship, and it's gotta mean so much to them. It's got to be painful. It's got to hurt, you know. And so a superstar is a guy who makes his teammates better, right? It's not just getting yours, but how do you also inspire the other guys to bring them up to a level? That's a superstar to me that makes an impact on that team, in that locker room, in that city. Woo! Yeah. Don't get me started on that, man. You see me, I'm sweating like I'm ready to get out there myself.
So the Bulls are the latest team to rebuff the Knicks in their new head coaching search, denying permission to Billy Donovan. The Knicks have also reportedly been denied permission to speak to the Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd, Rockets coach Ime Udoka, Timberwolves coach Chris Finch, and Hawks head coach Quinn Snyder. Magic. They got rid of Thibodeau, and now it's block. How bad do the Knicks look right now?
This is bad. And it's bad because Tibbs, I would have just said, hey, you got one more year. You know, let's see what you can do one more year. He took you to the Eastern Conference Finals, you hadn't been there in 25 years.
Remember, they gave him a 3-year extension coming into the season.
Yes. So then it came out, Wendy done a wonderful job.
Yes, he has.
Matter of fact, I found out on this show what happened, right? The players saying that they need a change. Okay. So, it's on you now then. If you wanted Tibbs out, and whoever they bring in, it doesn't matter who they bring in, it's on the players now. They got to deliver a championship because you're saying it wasn't our fault, it was Tibbs' fault, right? And so when Westhead and I had our little thing back in the day, and I went to Jerry Buss and said, hey, he's got to go, you know, because he's hurting the team. So when they let him go, then it was on me and the Lakers to prove everybody wrong that was the right move, and we were able to do that. We won the championship that same year, right? And so now let's see what happens. But I can't believe that they didn't have a plan in place. You could have waited to fire him so you could do your research.
You navigated that situation, so it wasn't on public display.
Exactly, Molly. So you could have waited and said, okay, let me call. Hey, you available? Or can you come? Or can I get permission? Behind the scenes, right? And so now, to me, they look bad, but there's guys out there, Mark Jackson, Sam Cassell, who I think deserve.
Sam Cassell.
Listen. If I'm looking for a guy, as long as he's been an assistant, almost 20 years.
Yes.
But they won championships with the Celtics.
That's right.
So he knows the Eastern Conference.
He won championships
as a player. That's right. I'm looking at him, okay? And then the brother, Bryant, that used to work for them.
Okay.
I guess,
Rick Brunson, yeah. Rick Brunson. Who
no, Bryant. Johnny Bryant or something like that.
Johnny Bryant, I think so.
Yes. So, but I'm looking at guys who also could be pretty good in New York. See, whoever you bring in got to deal with New York, too.
It's a different beast.
It's a different beast. So that's very important. Got to be thick-skinned.
Let me throw something at you. Let me throw a couple of things at you, because I want to hear what your responses to what I got to say. First of all, number one, I don't want to hear anything about the players. Leon Rose is the president of basketball operations. They want to sit up there and say James Dolan made you do this.
Right.
Well, James Dolan didn't make you do anything else. Did James Dolan make you trade 5 first-round picks, 4 unprotected, for a non-All-Star in Mikal Bridges, who can play? He's not a scrub. We like having him. But 5 first-round picks, 4 unprotected? No, what happened was Brunson could have signed a contract a year later, got an additional $120 million or whatever. He said, nah, I'll sign it now. So you went out and you got his boy. Okay, you decided to make that call. Leon Rose.
Yes.
That was you. And so for me, again, no matter what Dolan wants, if Dolan's going to come out and make you get rid of Tom Thibodeau, my point to you is you convinced him to let you do other things. How come you couldn't convince him to let you keep him? And if you want to capitulate to the players, okay, you looking at this roster, you know what assets you gave up. What's the chances of you getting Giannis, getting KD? If you had kept those 5 first-round picks, if you had kept 3 of them, you'd have enough assets to go out and get one of them right now. Okay? But that's not the case. So I'm looking at Leon Rose. That's number 1. Number 2, Mark Jackson, Bishop Loughlin High School, St. John's University, Rookie of the Year as a New York Knick, basketball mind extraordinaire. New York would gravitate to that brother, unfairly blackballed from this league. I don't know what the hell is going on. There's no excuse with the job that he did in Golden State, setting the stage for Steve Kerr to be who he is, to be a decade without even an assistant's job in the NBA. Something smells to the high heavens about that. That's number 2. Number 3, Sam Cassell, champion.
Man.
Personalities extraordinary, a player's kind of guy. This brother will get in your face, all right, and call you out and demand excellence and still have you hugging him because you love him so much. Sam Cassell got that kind of personality and knows basketball.
That's like Ty Lue.
There we go.
Same thing.
There we go. There we go. And I would tell you that Sam is even more affable than Ty Lue. Ty Lue's more serious, but definitely just as relatable. But Sam Cassell is a special talent as a coach and a basketball mind. I don't know why he hasn't gotten this chance. So now that you've gone in this direction, you know how desperate the Knicks are and how pathetic this situation is? What the hell are you doing reaching out for permission to talk to Quinn Snyder for? No disrespect to Quinn Snyder, but what has Atlanta done? What are you talking about? You was in Utah, then you were gone, and then you come to Atlanta. All right, Nate McMillan, as far as I'm concerned, shouldn't have lost that job. But I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Quinn Snyder? Really? That's what we doing? Asking for permission to talk to him? That don't make any sense. Not when you fire Tom Thibodeau. If you got an opening and you just call him, that's different. But to let go of Tom Thibodeau, you think you was going to be able to sell New York on a Quinn Snyder or a Billy Donovan?
But we can't have Magic here and not talk about the other coast.
There we go.
And your LA Lakers.
That's right.
Is it okay if we head there now?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it is.
So let's talk about LA. They acquired Luka in a shocking blockbuster deal with reports that the Mavs were worried about his conditioning, Magic.
Right.
Among other things. Those are the things you can control. LA bounced in the first round of the playoffs, but lots of photos and videos out lately of Luka looking fit. We know his coach, JJ Redick, essentially called him out about being in shape towards the end of the season. Magic, what must LeBron and Luka do to bring a title back to your LA Lakers?
Well, I think first give Coach Redick some love because that was important that he said, hey, we have to be in NBA championship conditioning. And Luka, listen, so give him credit. And now we see that he's in great shape. And now he's got to say, okay, LeBron, Luka, what do we need, right? What type of player do we need? We need a center, and he's got to be athletic, right? And then we need to improve that bench, that roster, because Stephen A., Minnesota, that pick and roll play.
Yeah.
They said, okay, where's Luka? Come here.
Yes,
We're going to put you in the pick and roll.
All right.
And Austin Reeves.
Yep.
So they went at those two guys.
All day.
Yes, yes. And then it cost us the series. And so we got to improve and I think get faster, longer, more athletic. Because if the West is teaching you anything with these young teams, they are athletic, they're fast. And so Rob Pelinka's got to bring in some people who can help us get better on defense and also get longer and more athletic.
I'm looking at the Los Angeles Lakers, and I got to tell you, there were times last year I looked at them, I said, they could get to the conference finals.
Me
then
too.
There were other times I looked at them and I said, they can't guard me. I mean, they don't
They
play.
were a bit Jekyll and Hyde, but there was a run where we really became believers.
Yes.
And I thought J.J. Redick did an outstanding job. I was very proud of the job that he did. And LeBron was all-world, worthy of being an all-NBA player. You just looked at him, 22nd year in the league, 40 years of age, and ask yourself, how much longer can he do this? But he keeps one-upping you. He keeps showing you he can still do it. And major props to him. Luka's a problem. And he's a problem for two reasons, Magic. Defense, and he needs the ball. See, the greatness of Steph Curry is that Steph Curry can dribble the ball and dance on you and boogie on you and pull up from 40 1 minute. Another minute he gives you the ball, and then your head is on a swivel because where is he? Where is he? Because he's always moving.
Right.
Luka doesn't move.
Right.
So because he doesn't move, you're asking the 40-year-old LeBron James to move. You're asking an Austin Reeves, who wasn't accustomed to movement. That should help him. He can get better at that, but moving a bit more. You're asking guys to do things that's either not their strength or that you shouldn't be asking them to do, all because of this deficiency. So him being leaner is one thing. Being in shape obviously is important. But Magic, do you trust him not to hold the ball? Do you trust him to move instead of standing still when he doesn't have the ball? And do you trust him to play defense?
Well, listen, Minnesota should answer all those questions for the Lakers because in that series, they were just picking on Luka and Austin Reeves and also the center position, right? So the Lakers pick and roll, stand, everybody's standing, LeBron's in the corner watching Luka dance, right? And Minnesota said, oh, we know what's going to happen. So what we're going to do is take the pick and roll away from the Lakers. And once they did that, and then they picked us up, and every shot came within the last 5 seconds. As the shot clock was winding down, the Lakers took awful shots, and that put Minnesota in transition. And Julius Randle beat us up. We were not a physical team. So now Rob and JJ has got to say, okay, what type of players do we need so we can compete against the West, the best teams in the West? And for me, you got to make a deal. You got to make some deals, bring in some new players. And the thing that hurt the Lakers the most was losing KCP.
Yep.
And then we're watching the other guy for Oklahoma City right now, and Caruso.
Yes.
They were our
difference
best
maker
on-ball defenders. And I told them that. I said, listen, you can't, if you're going to lose KCP, he signed for more money, but you got to keep Caruso.
Can't lose them both.
But they assigned Taylor Horton to that $9 million instead of giving it to Caruso, and that come back to bite the Lakers. So who's going to play defense for the Lakers? And to your point, which is a great point, they got to get an offense that move everybody. That, you know, instead of Luka just dominating the ball, hey, you can dominate some, but then LeBron James got to have it. And then you know who played better in that run we were talking about was special was Austin Reeves when he had the basketball in his hand. So it's going to be some decisions got to be made right here.
I'm enjoying this next question because I'm going to put you on the spot because that's what I love to do to you. I do it to you
privately. We already know.
Publicly, right?
We already know.
Let me ask you this question, Magic Johnson. So Luka's healthy, LeBron's healthy, Lakers are the Lakers. Anthony Davis is healthy. Kyrie is healthy. In Dallas. You still comfortable with the move to unload Anthony Davis for Luka?
Well, first they got to show us, right?
Who?
Dallas.
Got it.
So listen, I'm going to tell you something. If that boy, Cooper Flag, is who we think he is. And I think he's going to be a better pro than he was in college.
And I think he is too.
If you put him and Klay Thompson,
Lord,
and those two centers that they have,
right, right,
and Jason Kidd have them going up and down, and Kyrie's at his best and not hurt, watch out west.
As the mega star that you are and were as a player for the Los Angeles Lakers, you've always said this to me. When you wear the purple and gold, it's about a championship. If you're a superstar, every superstar that has shown up in the purple and gold has captured a championship.
Everyone.
So I'm looking at Dallas. I'm looking at what Ime Udoka is doing in Houston.
That's right.
I'm looking at Ant-Man knocking at the door. I'm looking at OKC here right now.
That's right.
I'm looking at all the San Antonio ain't going away. Don't let them get Giannis with Wembanyama. Don't let that happen. I'm looking at them and I'm saying it does seem a bit daunting for the Los Angeles Lakers in terms of championship.
Yes.
To that you say what?
All those teams you mentioned are young too.
Yeah.
So they're not going nowhere.
Right.
With young stars. And Anthony Edwards put on a show against the Lakers.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I sat there and said, wow. It was unbelievable. And so Minnesota, if they make one trade, and I would say trade Rudy and get you somebody else. If they can upgrade on the offensive end, give Anthony some help there, oh, man, Minnesota would be awesome. I love what San Antonio's building. Houston, they're like a player or two away.
I think
and they got great experience this year. Next year, they'll be even better.
You unload Green. Couple picks, you get your hands on KD and keep the rest of the team intact with Ime Udoka coaching them. I like that.
And that center,
Shagun.
Oh, man, is he good. I mean, I like that team. And you know, the Lakers, man.
Yeah.
Luka got to understand this is not Dallas. To your point, Kobe, bless you.
God rest his soul.
Yes. Superstar who led us. Shaq led us to a championship. LeBron.
Leadership.
That's right. And that's what's missing here. And so we shouldn't have to tell you to be in shape. That should have been, you should have been about that, right? Especially you're a superstar. So this is going to be an important year for the Lakers, important offseason for the Lakers. And we have got to get better and look at the championship. Molly, always look at the finals. It's going to tell you what you have to do in the offseason. So the West got to look at OKC and say, uh-oh, we got to build a team to beat them. The East got to say, hey, the Pacers going to be around, so we got to have a team to beat them, right? And so it's going to be important, the decisions that Rob and JJ make to improve the roster if we're going to compete with all these teams in the West.
Your days, I mean, you know, you're giving great basketball analysis. Thank you for showing up because I was getting on and all these damn voices. I'm like, where's Magic? Where's Magic? You know, I mean, running a team, owning a team. Have you given up on that now that you got an NFL team and all of that stuff? I mean, the NBA knowledge, man. I mean, are you done just dropping it? You gonna drop it on first take, or are you thinking about?
Magic, we're available to go to Europe.
Ownership team.
Lots going to be happening in the NBA that we can react to.
Then we can go over.
We can make it happen.
That's right. We'll go over the NFL season.
Lakers might need you down the line, or you might have to own your own team again, man. You know,
yeah, I know. Maybe that's what I had to do. I might have to get back into the NBA.
You might. You think?
I think so.
And by the way, if you're going to get back in, there was only be one place. You ain't interested in nobody but the Lakers. Is that not correct?
Well, I'm interested in the Lakers, but you know what? I may be interested in somebody else too.
Oh, okay.
Depending on who the owner is.
Can you get a group together and steal it from the Knicks? Could you do that? I mean, I would really appreciate
if
it.
Dolan ever puts the Knicks up for sale, I'll be
Look at how
first in line.
Stephen A. Look how the Commanders are doing.
That's right.
Look how the Dodgers
There
are
we
doing.
go. There we go.
Guys, do I have time
Where
to
you
get into the
go,
All-Star
they win.
game, or do we need to get to break? I just want to check in with our producers. All right, we got
I only own teams to win.
What do you need me to do? I kidnapped somebody for you to run the Knicks. For you to be running the Knicks, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? Oh, my Lord. Oh.
I'm all about winning. That's it.
That's right.
Playing the game.
So you ain't so your future aspirations as an owner in the NBA are there. I see that. I like that.
Yeah.
I ain't think you were gonna say that.
I've been a Laker
good.
my whole life.
Right.
And I've turned down, Peter and them came to see me with the Golden State Warriors.
Yes, I remember.
And Joe and had lunch with him. I said, no, I'm a Laker. I can't own the Golden State Warriors. I could have been owner of 3 or 4 different teams. Guys could approach me, friends who own teams, even right now. But, my loyalty has been to the Lakers.
But now when it comes to the Knicks.
Yeah, well, I said the Knicks are the Knicks. New York is New York. And I love the way the fans respond. This city was on fire.
Yes.
I got to give Commissioner Silver some love.
Yes, no doubt. Great.
What he wanted to build, everybody having an equal opportunity to win the championship.
You mean the parity?
The parity.
Yeah. He did it.
We got it. We got it.
100%.
And we had the best playoff, Molly, in the last 10 years. I've never been this excited.
Yeah.
First round, all the way down to the final.
It's been a great postseason.
Oh,
It's been a great
been
postseason.
Unbelievable for basketball, for NBA. It's been unbelievable.
Forgot something. As an aside, any issues with the new All-Star format, USA versus the world?
I want it.
I love it.
I want
Don't you
it.
love it?
I'm coming back now.
Don't you love it?
I'm coming back
That's
now.
right.
Because you did a good job. Yes, I skipped the NBA All-Star weekend because it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
So I went.
They didn't care. We was on the phone. You said they need to care.
So what I'm going to spend 3 days somewhere and you don't care. So, but now?
And Commissioner told on me yesterday. He said, you came into the office, you've been pushing this for the last couple of years. That's right. Yes.
Do you have any concern with how the international game is growing compared to American players?
Great question.
Not any concern. It should really sound an alarm to young kids here in America. See, we're getting caught up in other things are more important than you playing basketball. Right? And you talking about a brand now. Now we getting paid in high school and in college to play.
That's right.
And now your love is not to play basketball, but your love is getting that money. And so the international players say, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And they are so fundamentally sound. And look at all our superstars. Besides Steph, LeBron, and Kevin, they're all international guys. And all those guys are older. So once they retire.
The changing of the guard, it's going to be really
Yes.
interesting. I know we don't have
Yes.
time for this, but the NIL conversation is also really interesting. Because we wanted to see players getting taken care of, but now has it gone too far because the main thing isn't the main thing? But that's another day when you decide you want to get back into basketball, after your Europe trip.